I'm Jake Epstein, and I'm a co-founder at Rocketbook.
Hey, I'm Vince Tsai, and I'm the industrial designer and manufacturing manager at Rocketbook.
It's a funny question. It's kind of like asking why Tesla keeps making new cars. But here at Rocketbook, we're on a mission to bring 21st century technology to every natural writing surface that there is. This is an industry that was just collecting dust with zero innovation for thousands of years. So we're really just getting started.
And as an industrial designer, we're problem solvers. And so we're continuing to push boundaries on, products that people haven't really touched on for a long time. So there's a lot of opportunity there. New ideas come from our customers and the Rocketbook team. So, we have a lot of user feedback. We've got reviews on YouTube. A shout out to Jake Reeves. But we listen, and then when we listen to those feedbacks, there's new ideas to implement to new products that we're developing.
But the Flip Capsule isn't just a simple copy of the original. They've clearly listened to customer feedback and improved some of the shortcomings of the original design.
But I think the biggest thing is that no idea ever just pops out of your mind as a fully formed product you can bring to market, and just be open to feedback, because that's just so important to hear people's feedback on just the raw form of, hey, that's a bad idea, but this would make sense. Or can you turn that upside down and turn this left and turn this right? Because that would be cool. I'll give you a simple example. We're coming out with the Rocketbook version of index cards called Cloud Cards this fall. And one of the things that we talked about is how do we not just innovate on the surface and the digitization of index cards, but actually on the pattern. So there's always been a classic line pattern on the front, but someone suggested, hey, why isn't there dot grid on the back rather than just a blank back of an index card? And so all of a sudden, now index cards have a dot grid pattern on them.
Once an idea is submitted, we'll figure out if it's a good idea or not, kind of put up some guardrails, like how is this idea actually going to help solve a potential problem for our customers, or how is it going to improve their experience? And so when we can kind of answer that, I think, that's when we kind of move forward.
Yeah, so at Rocketbook, since we're constantly thinking about every writing surface in the universe, there's this infinite universe of new product ideas that we have, but every one is going to end up on the 2x2 matrix of effort versus impact. And that's important because we want to focus on ideas that are low effort and high impact. And so for any new product idea, we have to see where it is on the 2x2 matrix to understand whether we want to pursue it or not. Cloud cards on the 2x2 matrix. Sure, it's not the biggest impact product in the world, but it's low effort. But you got to be careful because sometimes unexpected things can come up. For example, on cloud cards where we're using a new type of digital code in the corner, then all of a sudden you run into these computer vision problems that can trip you up. So really the next step is beginning to design the product and seeing what problems you run into.
Another product that that kind of fits on that 2x2 matrix that we've been working on is the Rocketbook Orbit. It's pretty easy to kind of tinker with a prototype, but once we really get down into the nitty-gritty of production, that's when it gets really difficult. And so we had to tackle a lot of issues with how we were going to crimp the rings, how we were going to get them to be perfectly circular. These were all challenges, just having all these different materials combined and put into one product.
In a lot of ways, refining an idea is the hardest part, and it's the most exciting part.
So once we decide to work on idea, we refine a product like the Orbit with a lot of prototyping and user testing. So once we get those prototypes out, we've got to do some user testing. So we actually have the internal team test out these prototypes and take it for a run. And from that, we get a lot of feedback from them, and what it is that we're missing or what we could improve on.
I'm super excited about cloud cards because I get excited about simple products, and we have a lot of fantastic, very sophisticated products at Rocketbook. We have microwavable notebooks, and we're going to have magnetic notebooks coming out soon. But sometimes, there's beauty in simplicity. So that's one of the things I'm excited about with cloud cards, bringing them to market.
I'm really excited about the Orbit because it does, capture the simplicity of notepads. But this is our most complicated product at Rocketbook that I'm hoping, customers are just going to jump out of their chairs for.